Hi everybody, this is Derek with Ted Lare Garden Center, and today I'm doing a video on Pet Safe Houseplants for Waukee Library. So what I'm going to talk about is, I'm going to start by talking about the varieties that are pet safe, and then I'll give you some tips on how to keep maybe the not so pet safe ones safe from your pets. So I'm just going to go right into the varieties with there for you. The first one I'm going to cover are Peperomias. All are pet safe. And these are ones that I'll kind of go over a little bit about the conditions too, so you can know what to expect when you're looking for these plants for your house. These are good for pretty much almost any light condition, but keep out of the bright light and allow them to dry out a little bit. And again, Peperomias are pet safe, so that's a super cool one. And they don't get very big either, so if you're looking for something a little shorter, this will be a really good one. And then, let's see. That's the Peperomia section. Move that out of the way. Here's one that's kind of interesting. Venus flytraps and pitcher plants are also pet safe. I just learned about that one tonight. It's super cool that they are, because a lot of people really enjoy those plants. Those are plants that will actually eat bugs. So if you want something kind of extra cool to talk about like that with your friends, that's a good one to get. Keep that one moist and shaded. Those really like terrariums, so if you have a terrarium, that one will be super happy in it, especially enclosed. Just make sure you open it so it can actually eat the bugs, because it does need them to be its best, I guess I would say. And then ferns, so all ferns, maidenhair ferns, any fern that's like a typical houseplant fern. Some of the tropical ones I would do more research on, but anything like a maidenhair fern, what is this one, Austrian? Okay, Melissa's behind the camera. She may add if she wants to, so I just wanted to kind of officially introduce her now. But they're all pet safe, so I don't really have to worry about those so much. And ferns are one that like it moist. This one's easier to take care of out of all these ferns, because it doesn't have to be so detrimental that it's kept humid. The humidity is high, excuse me. So just keep it well watered out of direct sun, and it will do great for any pet-filled home. And that's it for ferns. So this one, Parlor Palm, is another one. There isn't a lot of palms that are pet safe, but this one is. So make sure that it's a Parlor Palm and you'll be good to go. This one is a very forgiving plant. It likes to be a little bit more moist, but it's also a little more forgiving if it's a little bit too dry. And it will take just about any light condition too. If anybody's looking for a first-time house plant, this would be a good one to go with.
This one that we're looking at is a tiny baby, right?
Yeah.
How big does it get?
Yeah, so this one's small, but they actually get easily like 4 or 5 foot tall. They don't grow fast, but it will grow and get bigger over time. And we also have Calatheas as well, super cool. These ones are pet safe, and you have your low light plant here, so this one doesn't like to be in direct sunlight, and they like to be kept, I would say, evenly moist is what I would call it on that one. And these, a lot of them will fold up at night like this when it gets dark. So don't be alarmed if you see that happening. Most of them, I'm not going to call them huge house plants. I would say they're kind of smaller on that one. But again, pet safe.
Really pretty pattern on the leaves too, and lots of different varieties of these.
Yes, there's a lot of different varieties, a lot of different shapes, styles, colors, heights.
Yes, this one's called Zebra and this one's called Ornata right here.
So this one might be a little bit more old-fashioned on the next list. But spider plants are completely pet safe. This one's actually a newer variety. I've never, or is that bow?
It's called, actually called Ocean.
What's that?
That bow,
Yeah,
bow
is that?
chateau is like kind of a plant branding thing.
Oh,
so,
okay. Oh yeah, I see that now.
but
it's just smaller. Okay.
yeah, Ocean, but still a little bit different variegation, I think, than some of the other ones out there.
It's a little bit different, but to me it looks pretty common.
Yeah.
I was just going to point out that it seems to be a newer variety, but it would perform like any other spider plant you have. And they're called spider plants because I'll tell you about what variety this one is. But first, I wanted to show you that that's why they call them spider plants. And sometimes you can start these for more plants too.
Yeah, they have little roots on them.
And again, these ones are completely pet safe, which is super. It's a really cool. So this one's Bonnie, and it's a curly spider plant. That's why it looks different. So the leaves are curly on that one.
I love this one. I think it's
Yeah,
cool.
they're really. Also, the other one that's nice about this one is it's neat and it's interesting and it's cool, but it's also easy to take care of. So they like to be kept a little bit more dry, a little bit on the drier side, but not dry by any means. So there's kind of different levels of when I explain this, there's different levels of moisture, and it's hard to think of a name for every category. So sorry about that, may be a little confusing, but I would just say evenly moist. So just let it dry between waterings, and that would be right on par for what it needs. And it likes to be out of direct sunlight, but it's very tolerable for almost any light condition. It wouldn't matter what window it's in, really. Just maybe if a sheer curtain's in front of it, if it's in a south window, might be kind of helpful on that one. And you can have them in a sit-down pot. You can have them in a hanging basket. They look good in those too. So I have to go back because I missed this one. So Wandering Jew, and some people call it Wandering Dude. The name is starting to kind of change as things progress. But these are all pet safe as well. And this one's a variegated one. And this one's,
one's called Nanook.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Nanook for that one. So there's also the one, I'm just going to have Melissa pan over just so it's the one you're familiar with, everybody knows about. All those are pet safe. And those are a spiller. They will pretty much thrive in any light condition, and they grow super easy. And if you want something that you can show off and be proud of really quickly in no time, that would be a really good one to get. So that's that one there. And also, whoopsies, it's the one to roll off there. All pet safe on that one, so enjoy that one for sure. So there's still one more category to cover, and I just wanted to mention that for any succulent fan out there or cactus fan, they're all considered pet safe. They won't be harmed by eating it, and that's what we mean by pet safe when I'm going through all that in the video. They're not going to be poisoned by any of these plants that I'm talking about. So this one is non-toxic. It is pointy, which I'll talk about in a second why that might be a good thing, but it is pet safe. It's not toxic on that one. So yeah, have fun with the succulents on that one. There's a lot and it's really most varieties. If you're getting into the more tropical ones, it wouldn't hurt to just do a quick search on it, but pretty much most of the succulents are going to be pet safe. String of pearls, echeverias, things like that. And the cactuses as well. So that's the list that we have that's pet safe. And I wanted to kind of give you some more tips as well. How to keep, let's say you have a plant that you really enjoy and you just have to have it even though it might be toxic or considered not pet safe. I just wanted to give you a few tricks to help you have that plant, and so you can kind of have the best of both worlds. One of the biggest key tips I would say is, and it's going to be really the same whether it's dogs or cats, it's a little easier to deal with dogs because they're limited to where they can go, where cats can jump up on the furniture and get in little spaces. Dogs they can do that too, but they can only go as high up as their front paws will reach, if that makes sense. So the first thing you want to do, I would say exclusion. So if you can put your plants high, either like in a hanging basket or up on a really high shelf the cat wouldn't dare try to get up to, that's the best way to make sure that they're going to be separated. So that's the best way. So if you want a foolproof way, go with that. There's a couple, the next tier down would be the highest possible. So make sure they're not on the floor or anything like that. Keep them up on tables. And one of the things that I found, I have a cat at home, so I'm kind of more answering from that aspect right now when I say this. But the more full the furniture is, the less the cat wants to go on it. So basically, if the cat has to do extra effort to get around stuff, it's probably not going to want to do it. I know that sounds weird, but it's worked for me. So what I do is I either fill it full of plants or I put other pieces of pottery on there or other decor, and it keeps them from wanting to go on there because it's too much effort for it, so it just kind of gives up. That makes sense. I don't know how that would work for dogs. Maybe Melissa could, because she has a dog at home, so maybe she could add on that one.
I do have a dog. She is fortunately not into my houseplants whatsoever.
I would say cats is much more.
My cat at home tends to be more curious about them. My dog doesn't. If you have a dog that likes to chomp on things, I probably wouldn't have anything within their reach. That would be my recommendation.
I would say so too on that one. But I think more commonly cats are more of the ones that want to eat at it than dogs do.
Yes.
So just kind of keep things away. So I usually, if there's one that's considered pet safe, I try to put that in the middle or the back of the table and then put stuff all around. And there's actually other mechanisms too that I've actually bought into. One of them is called SCAT, which you can find online, and you put batteries in it, and it just sprays a poof of air when it's motion activated. So it's super cool, and it does work. It also keeps them off of furniture that you don't want them on, even if there's not a plant on it.
Yep.
But it doesn't hurt them. It just scares them a little bit. And if you leave it there and keep it on, they'll eventually learn not to go there. I've had really good luck with that one. I may have accidentally scared myself a time or two when I forgot it was on. The cat laughs at me for that one.
I've also used that too, and it does work well.
But it works. I have used their sprays, they say, that work. I haven't had as much luck with those. But
I don't think so either.
the Scat was the best one. So if you're kind of looking for one of those products, you see on TV all the time, that would be the one that I might look into if I was having a really bad case of cat munchies, I guess I would call them. I don't know what else, or dog too. It'll work for dogs. And I got one more tip. So it's kind of, again, if you have plants, try to exclude in high places. One more is maybe provide something the cats, or would dogs? I'm sure they would. There's dog grass too, isn't there?
I don't know.
I don't know
we
that.
do talk a lot more about cats because they tend to be more the issue. Dogs tend to be usually more of an issue outside in the gardens versus houseplants, unless you have a puppy. Puppies, of course, are notorious for getting into everything. So
yeah, and it is kind of it's definitely something that it is a real thing. I just looked it up just so you know, it's a real thing.
Dog grass.
Yeah, they have dog grass too,
Okay.
so you could do that. I kind of figured. I would imagine usually if it's safer one, it's safer the other.
yes.
So this one's just, I don't know what it actually is. This is some kind of wheatgrass, I
I think it's just a wheatgrass and this is a variegated one that you're looking at right here. So it's kind of pretty too if you like plants.
Yeah.
And give your cat something
Yeah,
else to eat.
Yep. So this one you're just literally cats will eat grass a lot of times usually it's because they're having a little bit of a stomach ache, and the same thing with dogs too. So this is just providing them that element that they need to help them with that part. So if you just do that, it wouldn't go for the houseplant so much. That's kind of the idea behind this one. This one, you know more about this than I do because you just
Your cats will love this. It can make them a little crazy depending on your cat, or it can really mellow them out too. But usually, for my cats, they get a little nuts on it, almost like they've had a little bit too much to drink.
So,
but they do like it.
Okay, because I've never used it before.
Derek's gonna try it with his cat tonight. Now he's curious.
Okay, yeah, I'm curious to see what it's gonna. I believe this is a perennial.
It can get a little crazy in the garden.
Okay, so it's yeah, but it is perennial, so you could plant it outside, but just be careful because it kind of spreads a little bit.
It spreads quite a lot,
Okay.
so I would be careful where you put it.
But good, if you wanted to have it in a container, that would be cool, though. Just like
Yep, a container of it is how I would do it. I put it into my actual garden the first year that I grew it, and
You still have some.
I still have some, more than I would like.
Okay. So this one, the cat grass, that has a lifespan. You water it, and I would say it probably lasts a couple months maybe, and then you just either get more seeds or a new plant, and it grows really quickly. Keep it moist until used up, I guess I would say on that one. And this one, I would imagine that if it's in a container and it spreads, it would eventually have pretty high watering needs, but it would be pretty easy to keep that in a container for the summer as well. So that's most of what I have here. Do you think I have anything else to add? I think
you covered it really well.
Okay.
So if people have questions, how can they reach you, Derek?
you can reach me at my email. I'll give that right now. It's my first name spelled DEREK at Ted's, TEDS, the word gardens with an S.com. So I'll say that one more time. Derek at tedsgardens.com. And you can also give us a call here at 515-981-1075, or you can also just stop in. So we're here every day of the week. I usually work every weekend, so you can find me here to ask any questions you want. So we're going to end it there. Thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.